What's going on, gamers? So we finally got some news here, because it's been a while, right? About the Steam Machine. Not only about the Steam Machine, but Half-Life 3 as well, and also an MSRP that Valve probably wants to target if this user's information is pretty much on point. We're going to get to that as the second thread to talk about, but first we have to cover this when it comes to the Steam Machine, why Valve is doing things, and then the other thread also is saying, like I said, they want to get the price right because of the RAM, so they're waiting very patiently to do this, and what's the point of rushing, right? Definitely if you can get it down to under 700, I think that would be very good, because when you look at the prices of the PlayStation 5 and Series X, and they're not a full PC, it's like, okay, cool. So Soda Skins is saying Half-Life 3 was just confirmed to be dropping this year by an anonymous user on Reddit. I think if they're going to launch the Steam Machine and make some type of noise, definitely being Linux only and not having to deal with Windows 11, Half-Life 3 would be a hallmark because you would have a powerful exclusive to launch with it that is evergreen and has already made its hallmark in the gaming industry. That's like, you know, their Halo, or in the Nintendo sense, their Zelda, their Mario Kart, or from a PlayStation sense, their, you know, Naughty Dog game of the generation, or God of War, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to say, but it's more of like Valve has an identity, which is, you know, Half-Life, Dota, Counter-Strike, and it's only in their world. So it's not that they would be coming as a console to compete with other consoles, but they're coming with a console-like experience with an identity that's very powerful with Half-Life 3. So that could give them that kind of identity like that, since Xbox is missing that, and they can be the third competitor in a sense to kind of have their own exclusive powerhouse. And that's Half-Life 3, which could end up being sourced out as Team Fortress, again, Orange Box, Blue Box, you know, all that type of stuff. So many stuff can come out of that if they do this correct. Like I said, if you have that type of identity where it's only available there, that would allow people to get it and play it in a cheaper entry level. I'm just saying that that's something that I think they need with the Steam Machine because of the specifications they're going to be using in 2026. If they can do that and then say, you know what, don't worry, we're going to have a Steam Machine Pro or something as well too. You'll be able to get that hardcore thing for like $1,000 or $1,100 and get those type of specs that you want with RDNA 4 or 5 or whatever by that time they plan to do that, because I don't think they'll probably come for 2 years or something down the line when they have the Steam Deck 2 coming out and all that. So here he says it, Valve is very busy with Half-Life 3 and the Steam Machine, which is internally viewed as their flagship product. The user states to expect more news within 2 weeks from now. We're going to get to that price point range too after we read some comments down here. This is by Soda Skins. Going down, he says, this is the source that I have right here. Anonymous insider here, the MVM update has been delayed because Valve has made the decision. You guys can see that Valve has made the decision to make it into a full-fledged major update where one of the primary goals is to overhaul the matchmaking system. The current release date is to coincide with the schedule of Half-Life 3 this year. Valve is very busy with Half-Life 3 and the Steam Machine. I really hope they're busy with Half-Life 3 because, like I said, that's a game that can make a hallmark for a generation. They need something like that, which is internally viewed as their flagship product. Expect more news within 2 weeks from now. So this is where he's getting that from. This guy's actually obviously coming out as anonymous because I just think that he doesn't want to be seen, but he's giving people some information. So that is where that's coming from. So I hope this is true because everybody would like that, right? Definitely if you played Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 1, but I think when you really think about the chances of it happening, it makes you believe it. It's just more stuff to be talked about, right? It's like, nah, it's not happening. It's not real. I don't believe in it, right? You know, but I think that this is the best thing for the Steam Machine and waiting to get that perfect price point. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough if you're just going to launch that without anything, you know? And then we have something right here. My favorite, Hope. That's pretty funny. By Angel Not Found. That's absolutely a hilarious meme right there. I like that picture. Go down a little bit. A Reddit post about a 4chan post, which is just some random guy claiming to be a leaker, which happens every day. Tyler McVicker is not a credible source. He is wrong constantly. Valve does not communicate with them. They hate him. He used to harass Valve employees 24/7. Because while I'm hearing about this guy, that's actually pretty funny. So we kind of get an idea about this. Now, on to the next post that I actually just recently looked at is right over here, where this page right here that has 38,700 subscribers, which is pricing, data stats, and news for Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, Team Fortress 2, and Rust. Obviously, he's a Steam guy. He likes Steam. Is saying Valve is reportedly waiting out RAM prices to target $650 to $750 MSRP for the Steam machine. Whoa. So, guys, automatically, you should know what he means by this. And what do I mean by this? I'm talking about the 512 gigabyte model, which I think should be 1 terabyte. That's the problem I have with this, because that's like Series S stuff. You know what I mean? It's like 512. And on PC, that's kind of rough. Definitely have a whole entire Steam library and you want to test out stuff, you better have some fast internet, or like some person that's like, you know what? I have a 2 terabyte. I'm just going to swap it out with it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. But the way the prices of SSDs went up lately, it's like, oof. But other than that, it seems like if they could get that $650 price tag, I think they were pretty much aligned with PlayStation 5 and the Series X right now, who should be $400, if you get what I mean, because this is just coming down to a market with a console PC-like experience, and it's not an actual console. But they have their own identity, because if you could launch that with Half-Life 3, that is going to sell gangbusters, because you have a reason for people to get one, because it's like, sorry, nowhere else here but in this world. Would you going to sit there and wait on PlayStation, or sit there and wait on Nintendo, or actually, it doesn't exist there. It's like I tell people all the time, were you going to sit there and wait on Nintendo games? You're going to sit there and wait on PlayStation exclusives that are now only on PlayStation, like games that never came, like GT7, Demon Souls, you know what I mean? Like Bloodborne. It's like, dude, the only way to get that experience is to get the hardware. And that's what I mean by like identity power. Valve has that, because people know when they think about PC, the identity of mostly gaming on PC is going to be going to Steam. It's not a question. It's just, that's just how it works, right? So I think if Valve can get this going, if the market gets better, this will be much better than going over 700 to 750. It's like, oh man, you're going in that PS5 Pro original range, and you're going to be more expensive than consoles that came out in 2020, but they weren't even made in 2020, because you had to make them before that and manufacture. It's outdated tech. The only thing better about the Steam machine is that at least it has RDNA 3 and it's not RDNA 2, and that you can customize and add in possibly more RAM and swap out the terabyte, but the SSD, but you can do that on the consoles already, but you can't add more RAM. So if Valve allows that, then it's like, oh, I have a 32 gigabyte RAM Steam machine. If you go up to 64, okay, that would be nice, and have whatever SSD you want, though you can't do anything about the GPU and the CPU, which I think should have been 8 cores, probably would have been better. But hey, you know what? That's just kind of how it is. So that's where I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? It's not like terrible, but it definitely isn't anything amazing when you're thinking about paying $650 or $700 with 512, you know, gigabyte SSD. It's like, ah, man, 1 terabyte would have been better. How much is the 2 terabyte going to be? What, like $800, $850? If it can get to $650 for the base model. But if it goes to 700, that is going to be rough. And it goes past 700. Oh man, you better have Half-Life 3. Because when you have stuff like that, then people are like, whatever. It's like a GTA situation, right? Man, if that comes out, GTA 6 is going to have some crazy Game of the Year competition, because Half-Life 3, I think, will just be one of those like high 90-something plus meta games along with GTA. That's going to be something very crazy. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. Let's take a look at some of these comments down here. The longer they wait, the more outdated it'll feel. That is pretty funny. Like I said, the benefit is that obviously it'll have that PC console-like experience, or console-like experience as being a PC. Helix is going that route, and you'll have, you know, Half-Life 3, and just, yeah, I guess little cool stuff that you'd be able to do as a PC gamer. Other than that, yeah, it is pretty rough if you really look outside it and say, yeah, but look at the PS5 Pro when it was $750, right? But even then, it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. With the way the market is, they're kind of like, can now come in okay, but if those consoles would have stayed those other prices, that's going to be tough. Man, I might as well buy a PC for a few hundred more. Hey, I mean, I can understand why people think that if you look at the specifications on there. I think this is definitely for a Steam guy specifically, and for somebody who's looking to get entry-level PC into the market, and they see a game like Half-Life 3 and they can just get it for, if it's $650, that would be nice, right? If 700, it's like, yeah, you know. But that's how it is, because the PC market is ridiculously expensive. This guy says, spreading your BS again. So I don't know if this is 100% true or not, but this is the latest news that we have on the Steam machine. People want answers, and this is what I found today. Now, the other posts obviously telling you that they're trying to align stuff with Half-Life 3, and I think it is true that Valve was trying to wait on the right prices, because they've said that themselves officially not too long ago, that no, I mean, the market's ridiculous, so we have to wait. They said that. So this is not something that somebody could just, you know, say, oh, no, you know, this never happened before. I'm the only guy that ever said that. No, Valve officially said that. So I think this is true. Now, is that 650, 750? Accurate? I don't know. I hope the 650 range would be nice. So once again, I want you guys to let me know what you think about it. Leave your analysis down below. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, and keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on. Later. I hope Half-Life 3 is real because I do want to play that.